and welcome to yet another girl. Who don't you know? It's Marilyn Green, the THEE hostess with the mostest. And you know what we do on Girl Who Don't You Know when I'm chatting it up with my different guests is that I am trying to transform your mind one show at a time. Okay. So, and also, hey, I know you're going to like it. I like it. I know you're going to like it too. Okay. That you need to like it on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, hit that little bitty bell, all right, so you can catch all the exciting different shows that I got coming up for you. All right, so without further ado, we all know that whenever you see this, I'm telling you, it's being recorded right now in the month of September, right? so, so I am talking about National Suicide Prevention Month, and we all know that suicide ideation is just not in 1 month, right? We're just here to try to bring that awareness to you. All right. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna let my guest, start to talk in just a minute. It's the beautiful none other than Nisha Morrow. Hey Nisha, what's going on, girl?
How you doing, Miss Marilyn?
I am fantastic. Okay. All right. So, like I said, they may see it in a different month, but guess what? We here on the month of September doing what we love and doing what we want to just give a shout out about this very, very touchy subject. So, all right. So, we're here to talk about suicide prevention. And as everybody know, if you've been following my show at all, I'm all about the mental health, the mental wealth of a thing because I always say the same thing. If you got a whole bunch of money and you're rich and you don't know what to do and you ain't got that mental stamina, what good is it? Okay, somebody else is spending your money any kind of way they want to spend it, right?
Right.
So Nisha is here and she is a school counselor. She's a counselor, period. Okay, I'm thinking that she counsels outside of school as well because of her reputation. So Nisha, tell me, how long you been doing this? You know it's a controversy. What is it, 10, 15, 20, 10? What is it? Come on,
So,
tell us.
so I've been in the social work field going on 15 years. I've been in the school setting 9 or 10 years. Yes, that's debatable. We're somewhere in 9 and 10. We're there somewhere. So I've been doing this a total of next next year will be 15 years. So 14 years and some months. So yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why did you go into social work? What happened? I mean, what made you go to this field? They call me a glorified social worker, okay? Because I'm always thinking and caring about people, and saying, my heart is social work, right? So tell me, why did you go into social work?
Life was life, and
Oh,
my school social worker helped me through a lot during those times. Actually, from my freshman year until I believe maybe my freshman year in high school until I believe my like senior year in college, I lost someone every year, someone
wow.
close to me every year during that time. Um, and life was life, and I was in a dark space. I had friends who actually completed their time on Earth by ending their life by dying by suicide. So life was life, and I needed somebody, and I decided that I wanted to be that somebody for someone else.
Wow. Wow. That is simply amazing. Yeah, it's always a reason the why we're going to do something. And so I'm glad that you're that person. Okay, so let's get into the school thing, the youth. So tell me this, what is really going on with the youth? Where are they mentally? You know what I'm saying? Where are they mentally? If you can just, give a brief statement on where are they?
Students these days have it, in my opinion, much harder than the previous years. So they are in a fragile, is what I'm going to use, the fragile area. Life is very difficult for them, not just because life is life, and they also have the bullying aspect, they have social media and things of that nature. So they are. attacked in different angles at different times, and the timings sometimes never turn off. So
Oh,
yeah, you got it. Social media is not a on and off button; it's there forever. So that's what we're looking at.
okay, so social media, let's stay on that. Let's drop a pin right there. Social media is such a good monster, if you will. And the way that people put it in their head, it's information overflow. And sometimes you put so much in your head you don't know how to connect it. And being a child or being a youth or being someone that may be somewhat mentally unstable, it becomes very, very difficult to maneuver guide yourself through the system. What do you believe? I had a person tell me yesterday she went to her doctor with something on Google, right? And the doctor told her stop looking at Google, stop looking up stuff. So these kids got so much stuff going on with their social media. It's unreal. Now, how do they process anything like potential school threats? Someone calling and saying, "Hey, there's a potential threat to the whole building." How do they handle that? Do they handle that very well, or what do they do?
Some students in my district, I can only speak from what I've seen. We sometimes they don't take it as serious. They don't know. Um, so I'll say that's their trauma as well, because the lack of not trusting, and they
Oh,
don't understand why the staff and the faculty members take it so serious. They
oh,
don't see it as an immediate threat because it's never happened to them.
mm,
So you can see it, and sometimes they're not watching the news. And so because it's never happened, and I pray it never happens
right.
in my area, but they don't see it as, oh, somebody really can do this. Um, I believe in the back of their mind, it's like, oh, this could really take place. However, they play it off as if it's not. Oh, ain't nobody gonna do nothing. They ain't doing nothing. They just run their mouth. Running your mouth is kind of scary for us.
Serious.
Look, for us, right?
For
So,
us. For us, you're right. It's really serious, but do they also, and help me out, they don't, do they have their phones in class? Do they let them have their phones?
listen, that cell phone thing is it's a beast itself. So, are you supposed to have your phone in class? Not supposed to be out, but we'll see how it goes. It's hit or miss. People don't want to give up their phone, so I ain't doing that. That's my phone. So
Okay. Well, nowadays, if the mama come up there, they want to cut up, okay, or the daddy or whoever, they gonna try to start a fight with the teacher. But when I was growing up, man, I wish you would think about hitting the teacher. Whoa, come on, you gonna get hit by your mama, grandmama, Pookie them, whoever. Everybody gonna beat you up because everybody love Miss Whoever, right? Most time it was a woman. You dare not do that. But I'm talking about the cell phones because if there's a potential threat to life or threat to whatever, they can take out their phones and start seeing if it's on, the news right away, right?
right.
Yeah, they can do that. And so if they don't see anything, they're not even thinking about it, right? It's like, wow. So, yeah, mental wellness. But anyway, let's talk about suicide in these youth. Are they talking about it at all, or what's going on with that one too, Nisha? What they doing? I need to have you the on the ground reporter. What they doing, girl? What they doing for real?
I don't know if it's talked about. A lot of times, what people need to realize is that suicide is not necessarily people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself," because they know that raises the red flag. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll hear different things like, "I'm tired. I don't want to be a burden to everybody," or who it'll be, I'm not wanted here, and things of those natures raises little red flags. So you have
Okay.
to see the whole child is what you, whoever that person is in your life. And I'm not gonna say a child because that's even adults. We're not
Yes.
gonna use the word "I want to die," or
Yeah.
we might say, like, it might be a statement where it's like, well, I don't want to be a burden to, I'm a burden to everybody. I can't get nothing right. It's negative talks that comes with that. And so those are the times where you reach out and you check on your people. Whoever your people are, that's who you check
Who
on
your
at that
people?
point.
Who your people? Your
Check on your
people.
people.
That's right. So when you talk about the different signs, and we know that sometimes parents nowadays parenting is too hard. I don't think I could do it. That's why I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? But these parents or caretakers or whoever you need, to, whoever you are, I mean, they have some serious. I just put it like this: absence of control with their children and youth. Okay, so how do you handle that? With, I mean, what can you tell the parents or caretakers or whoever? What can they do? What are some of the other signs, that they may look for? I know one may be on social media. A little bit that I know about this is they start giving away stuff. What else do they do? What else do
Um, they give you your verbal cues. They give you behavior signs, like they may not be. They might be having their mood changes. They don't want to be around nobody. They don't. They want to really be isolated. Um, they start saying like the goodbyes, like, oh, it's how they change their whole thing. They'll start giving away their items, like, oh, you can just, like, that's your favorite hoodie, oh, you can have it. They'll give you social, emotional, and psychological signs. They'll be like, they'll be feeling overwhelmed. They'll feel guilty. They'll feel sadness. Those things. They start not caring so much in school. They don't. They'll start doing things of that nature. So it's just about changing their overall view of life. And so you'll start seeing that they might dibble and dabble with drugs and go heavier on alcohol and things of that nature. So it can look any kind of way. So pick up on knowing who is your child. I would say pick up when you see something's off about your kid. Have a conversation, whoever that person, or I'm not gonna. I keep saying kids because that's what I
I
normally
get you.
do.
I get you. Yeah, we ain't
But
number big
whoever
kids.
that
We big
person
kids.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
whoever that person is, check on your girlfriend, check on your guys, and be like, hey, you good? Cause homie, like you trip, you don't seem like yourself. It's one of those. See me. I need you to see people. Start seeing people
Okay.
for who they are.
Yeah. And you know what? When you talk about they start doing things like, for me, emotionally, that the person might always keep hugging on you and they don't hug all the time. Is that something what you're talking about? They hugging on you, they telling you I love you 3 or 4 times a day, they texting you and all, different behaviors, but you have to know that that person, we'll just say person. I know we're talking about youth, but like I said, we ain't number big kids anyway, right? So youth, uh so you have to pick up on the cues. So what if you don't have a good relationship with your child, Nisha? Okay, give us some cues on or some strategies on how to get that rapport so you can see some changes. Some people don't see nothing, they'll say I didn't see it coming.
Have a conversation. One thing, even with my daughter, that I do is we talk about her day. What did you like? What did you do? What didn't you like today? What was so? Have conversations. Allow them to be vulnerable with you, whoever that person. I'm telling you, your kids for sure. Though, have a conversation. Let them be vulnerable with you. If they have slip ups, I know cussing is a big no. I don't do it in front of my mother. That's my grandparents. A sign of respect. I get it. However, if they have a slip up, don't over exaggerate the cuss word. Listen to the whole story.
All right.
Sometimes the story is just that frustrating to them that they do. If they really mean it, if they didn't try to, they'll be like, oh, my bad. However, listen to the whole story. Take everything in. Don't always overreact. If it's something that doesn't require you to overreact major, like I tell my daughter, lying to me, that's a big no-no. Like,
Yeah.
you gonna get it every time. I don't care. However, we having conversations. I'd rather if you be honest with me. So that's something that's big for me. My child is only 7, but again, those are some of the things I do, and some things you can do as a parent is, or parent, guardian, auntie, uncle, whoever you are. Have those conversations, see how their day's going, what's going on. They will tell you. If you listen, they will give you all the tea. They're
Wow.
gonna give you everything you need to know.
Exactly. And another thing is that how do you handle when they tell you something and be like, wow, wait, hold on. That's a little bit too graphic for me. What we got to do? Get a poker face? What we do, Nisha? Get a poker face?
I would say if it's stuff you can like, oh, it's like a, oh,
Okay.
I get it. Be like, but don't blow up. Everything is not a blow up moment. Like I said, it's one of those things, like it can take you off, like, oh girl, I wasn't ready for that. You can say it, oh, I wasn't ready for that. Or am I old
Right.
enough to do this? You can make it a joking matter. Am I old enough to have this conversation? Like, because those are things I say, wait a minute, what kind of hat I need to be putting on? Am I being this mama girl, being your best friend? What am I? And it's just calming it down. You can make it a little lighter if you were thrown off. Be like, girl, what? But come back to it and let them finish what they're saying.
Hmm.
That's what I would say. That's the best thing I can give, is that come back and let them tell you what it is, and then okay, so how can we handle this? What can we do? What do you need from me? Ask them those questions. What do you need from me? And if they'll tell you what they need, or they might say, I don't know. Be like, think about it. Let's start having us a little date, and we talk about what we need. If it's just a girl time, guy time, whatever, find out what they need. They will tell you eventually. Like, and they'll express things differently if they see that you really care and take interest in their day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think the parenting nowadays it's just too hard. It's just they be saying, you know what? No, you should not beat your kids. You should not do this. You shouldn't do. But the kid might beat you. Then what? What you supposed to do? Just go on and what? Walk away. Walk away. Nisha and say, "Oh, I can't hit you." Really? Okay. Well, I won't get. I won't go into that type of discipline. Okay.
Yeah.
So now kids are wanting to, I'm not going to say, I think you told me the word commit suicide is not right anymore. What is the term that they use nowadays
we
instead
we
of commit?
we don't say commit. Commit is a crime. We commit a crime. We don't commit that. It was never a commit. It's died by suicide. I know somebody who died by it. They lost that battle. So committing, and I love that they're changing that, because it takes it from making it seem like a crime
Hmm.
to, they lost the battle. Essentially, they lost the battle with themselves. They lost the battle where they made a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And
I
that's
like that.
that's just one of those things. Like, we don't want to say they committed. Like, they didn't commit.
Right. Yeah, they're not committed. I mean, they just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Die by, but like I said, it's a taboo. It was something that's hooked to religion. I won't say the religion. It's hooked to it, and that if you did that, you almost can't. Let's talk about this. Get your insurance. That's another thing. You can't get your insurance if you do this.
Hmm.
Or sometimes you get your insurance if you. I don't know. I don't know. So Nisha, tell me, within the school setting, are there things in set up for not only you but other teachers, somewhat some in service or some type of training that they
Yes.
get to notice these things, and what type of trainings could someone on the inside and the outside do in order to be ready for this potential issue?
It's different organizations that offer trainings. Let's see, we have
Is it NAMI? Do they?
NAMI's a good one. NAMI offers good trainings. You can also look up the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. You can always dial 988. That is the crisis hotline. Um, you can, and a lot of my stuff is according to Illinois and
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, but 988 is anywhere around the world. So
Right.
you can always use that number if you need something. They have different projects in Illinois to help with dealing with suicide.
And also, I think, do they have a 741 741?
Yes.
You text and say home, because sometimes the youth or adult, we're just gonna say people,
Mm-hmm.
okay, sometimes they're out there, in the streets or in a compromising position that they want to come home, but they don't know how to get back, so they can do the 741 and text home. Is that correct?
Yes, 741 is another it's a crisis counselor that they'll get on that line. And they deal with all kind of things at that number. That's gun violence, eating disorders. They deal with depression, suicide, self-harm, anxiety, anything that you have a problem with. They can help you with those areas. And so, yeah, it's plenty of things that you can research. I'll tell people Google is our best friend. If you want to know something, you can research where can I get help from. I know in school settings, I know in Illinois for sure, an act was passed that they put it on the back of their eyes, the student IDs. 6th through 12th graders, they have all mental health resources that's on the back of their ID.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. On their IDs that they
The
give
school
to
IDs,
students.
the school's IDs from if they're in 6th through 12th grade, the Illinois Public Act and requires that school districts have that. So
Yeah, I get you. So, is there any type of data out there about what's that, dying by suicide out there, that you can perhaps share so we can really bring it down to everybody's looking at this? It's just not us just chatting about it. We know it's some data out there. Tell us
yeah.
something, Nisha.
So according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, in 2022, it was the 11th leading cause of death in the United States. The 11th. Um, and approximately 49,476 people died by suicide in that same year. 1.6 million attempted, and that's approximately because not everybody tells the truth that they've ever attempted suicide. And in that same year, men died 3.85 times more than women. So the fellas are taking their lives as well. It's not just a woman, it's not just girls, it's literally everybody. It affects everybody. So if you see
Yeah.
somebody, see them and say how you doing, check on them, because it doesn't look like just a sad person. It's the same. It could be your girlfriend who's smiling, ha ha, having a great time, or your guy who kicking it with you. It's not just the oh, they look sad, they gonna go die by some. No, it's not those. It's everybody. It could be the girl sitting next to you having a great time. So it's we put on that facade to hide it. So that's something you always have to look at. And so if you see something about somebody that you say nice, compliment somebody. Ask if they look sad, ask can you give them a hug, give them a high five. I know COVID's still out here, so you
Yeah.
know, do your safe, whatever you want to do is safe as what that looks like for you. However, just start seeing people. It's enough hate going on in the world. Start loving people. That's how I feel. Like love on people. I'm a hugger. So if a
Oh,
kid want a hug, come on, come hug me. Bring it in. You need a hug, whatever. It's just sometimes that's what we need, that physical piece, or for somebody to really see you.
got you. So Nisha, I also know that you also, when you say you see them, you compliment them. You might compliment them on their hair. You might compliment them on their shoes. I mean, not just the kids. I mean, just people in general. Just be kind.
Yeah,
Basically, be kind. And if you see something looking nice on somebody, why not say something? Don't be hating. Okay, just just say something nice about, oh, I really do like the way when you wear your hair like that. Hey, I might want to get me some of those. Where you get it from? I mean, anything to engage them, or for me to stop that thought process, because you don't know what they're thinking about. So you come in and you interject some happiness or some hope into their life, and then they stop that thinking pattern. Okay, and it just makes, hey, look. as we say, all lives matter, right?
Mhm.
All lives matter. So you may come along and do that, and you don't know if you save that person's life. They may not ever come back and tell you, but do your part, because you know how I feel about it, Nisha. Mental health is everybody's business, okay?
It
And
is.
mental health is just not about what do they say? Dying by suicide. It's not that. It's not that. It's just period. You know, the wellness of your mind, the wellness of your mind. And let's talk about that for a minute also. Are you seeing that a lot of kids like to go to counselors outside of you? Or how do you handle that? Do you refer or what?
Um, so in my school district, we actually do have counselors that are actually in the building as well. That we can set up a Zoom for them to talk to. There's just some of the things that different districts have. So if you feel like your students are struggling with something, they can reach out to the school social workers and ask them those kind of questions, because it should be something that they can do. Um, what I do notice is that we all sometimes need a therapist. You can have Jesus and a therapist. You can keep that what happens here stays here. All of that stuff is, I'ma say, baloney sometimes. The If it's gonna kill you, no, it ain't worth it, homegirl, homeboy. Go on and get you some help and let them help you process this thing through. Um, I had a therapist and I enjoyed her, and I'm a social worker. So yes, and if I feel like I need to go back to therapy, guess what? I'm gonna go find me a therapist and I'm gonna go back to therapy. Jobs offer it. Some programs offer it through their jobs. Find out, because I believe some jobs offer you so many sessions with a therapist. You can ask those questions. Your mental health is real, and the world now knows it. So ask questions. Go to your HR and say, "Hey, do we have that link, or do
Mhm.
we have anything about it?" Go to your school districts. Ask those teachers, or call the social workers. Hey, my kid tripping. I get calls and be like, "Hey, can you talk to my kid? Like, they was a little. They need to talk to somebody," and we go through it. And I talk to them on one, and I ask them, "Hey, do you need somebody to come more often than you can get to me? I'm only one person, so I can't have 1,200 people coming to talk to me
Right,
every
right.
day. But if that means I can set you up and you get your Chromebook and you having a conversation with a therapist, we can do that."
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let's talk about the reason why Anisha is on here, because I saw these amazing T-shirts she was wearing on Facebook, and I'm like, wait, who is? I know who she. I know her. Meaning that I've seen her in passing. I've seen her in different, venues or whatever. But however, I'm like, what did she do for real? And that's how she got here, because she was wearing things, and I forgot the one that I really. Do you have on? You don't have on one today, do you? Is
I do.
that? What is it saying?
This one says, "You are worthy." What did it say? "You are worthy, lovely. You are worthy. You are lovely. You are needed. You are enough. You matter."
Right. And that goes back to everybody matters. All
Mhm.
right. Now, you said something earlier that I'm going to pull out too, is that don't make a permanent solution don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You want to expound on that a little bit more, or are you good?
I can explain that one. For me, it's always, no matter what you're going through in life, it's never going to last forever. Um, I've heard before, and my dad has used it before, analogies as, no storm lasts forever. The storm is going to pass. You gonna go through a storm, and it's gonna pass. It's gonna eventually. It has to pass. It won't stay there forever. You will have a storm in life. However, it does not require you to end your life.
It does not. It does not. And that's why everything we've been talking about, get a therapist, talk to your parents, a caretaker, talk to your best friend. All those different things are tools in order for you to understand that your life matters. All life matter. Okay, I got another one. I know you like this one. Don't let someone else tell your story. You matter. Go for that one, Nisha. You smiling.
So that one was my one of my favorite. My thing with that is no one can tell your story better than you. You might know my story, but you can't tell my story better than I can. So what I want when I say those kind of things, write down how you feeling and have a conversation. So if you die by suicide, you cannot tell your story. That's not a
Yeah.
fair. That's not fair to your. That's not fair to you that somebody else can tell your story. I don't want nobody to tell my story. I want to be able to say, "Hey, I overcame a whole lot." I like to say it. I went through a lot, and guess what? I'm still here. And it's not always the grandest things. I have a hard time sometimes, but again, it's not worth me taking my life. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna the pain is not going to subside easily, but you have to put in work for it. So, what
Yes.
are you willing to work to save your life? Is how you have to look at that.
I really like that. Okay, well, listen. Tell me, what's some departing words? You've been pretty hot at the end of this, with some words of wisdom. But do you have any more up in that head of yours? Okay, that you really want to drive home? What
Listen,
else?
get help, live your life, tell your own story. That's what I want people to do. Get your help. 988 if you need somebody to text. And if you see me in the street and you be like, hey, I need one of them little hugs. I got you. Because I want you to make sure I want to make sure that you're not one that's gonna take your own life and die by suicide. So
I love that. Hey, Nisha Moore, thank you so much for joining us. And girl, who don't you know? We was chatting it up. We chatted it up too, okay? We chatted it up about all lives matter. This is suicide prevention month. And like I said earlier in the show, there is not a month, okay? It's something that you really need to put in, get into the business of it, okay? And don't just think that's somebody else's business. No, it's everybody's business, okay? Because all lives matter. So, I'm Marilyn Green. Y'all know me, the hostess with the mostest. And I'm so happy that you tuned in. And make sure you go like me on, what is that, Facebook. On YouTube, you're gonna subscribe, and then you're gonna hit that little bell to say, "Hey, I want to hear some more from Marilyn Green on Girl Who Don't You Know." Okay. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful and peaceful day. Bye bye.